Hey guys, it's Ian here from Legacy Endurance. If you're looking for a shoe that will transform your run, stick around. I'll tell you all about the Newton Distance 6. So this is the Newton Distance 6, and I guess the point of this review is, I know many of you guys are Newton wearers already. This review is really intended for from someone coming at it from a perspective of changing shoes. So I've been running in Adidas shoes for quite a long time. My long mileage shoe is the Supernova, the Glide Boost, and I use Adidas Boost and the Boston Boost for some of my tempo speed work. So this is a very big change from that, and I've really been waiting for quite a while to transition, because for anyone that has ran in other types of shoes, you can't just slap on a pair of Newtons and that becomes your new shoe. You really have to transition. So I'm going to give you a bit of perspective on my overall impressions from the shoe, transitioning from the Adidas, and just how I sort of have found after running on this shoe for a month now, because I don't think it's really easy to do a review after only 1 or 2 runs. I've got over 100 kilometers on this now, so I've got a really good feel for the shoe. And so I'll start with sort of the look and the feel, how it feels on your foot. Is first impressions is from the second you slide the shoe on, feels amazing. Super light. It's 7 ounces, so very light. But what I do like about it is that it's also quite structured, so the heel's nice and firm. It's not sloppy. It's not a real soft shoe, but it's also very light, so it feels very secure in your foot. The tongue is super comfortable. It just feels awesome from the second you put it on. You've got the 5 lug system still on the Newtons here. So and what I've read and what my experience has been on this shoe as well is very similar in that it takes a while for these lugs to sort of soften up and get springy. They're quite firm. If you're coming from another type of shoe, you're going to definitely notice these, but it takes a little while. I'd say it probably took about 3 or 4 runs before I felt these starting to soften up. But it certainly gives you a ton of road feel. Part of it is they have this new outsole on it. They call it made with Newtonium. It's kind of cheesy, but you can certainly get a ton of road feel with this shoe right off the hop. I noticed that instantly from the very first step. They feel fast, they feel good, and you have no other choice but to run sort of mid-foot, forefoot on this type of shoe. So I found that changing my stride right away, which is part of the reason why I wanted to move into a Newton shoe and get away from the big fat heels that the Adidas have. So I noticed that right away. Felt really good right off the start. You know, of course, the typical things you got to keep in mind when you're moving into this type of shoe is going from a 10 mil drop to a 2 mil drop, as this would be. There's a lot of changes to where your muscles are being taxed, and I noticed it right away in my calves. So this wasn't a long run shoe for me. I used this for a lot of the speed work I was doing, some tempo stuff, some interval stuff, some easy runs as well, but you'll definitely want to ease into this type of shoe. You're not going to throw away your other ones. You're going to, introduce this gradually. And so it took me, over a series of 4 weeks to really get myself comfortable with this shoe and get it sort of in the rotation. And now that I have it moving with I've got a couple different shoes on the go right now, it feels awesome. This shoe is actually becoming one of my favorites, and definitely I'm interested in looking in some of the other Newton shoes. So I've got a couple different models that I can work with. I would definitely suggest this as a good tempo speed shoe, racing shoe. You're gonna really like this. I'm not going to get into a ton of the technical specs with you, because you can look that up online, check it out. The shoe is 7 ounces. It's going to feel really light, and it's definitely worth your try. So I'm going to put some links in the description below where you can check it out even more, grab a set. As somebody has transitioned from a different shoe, definitely finding that I'm really starting to get the feel for this. And even when I put on my other shoes, I can't help but notice the fact that my running stride has been changing because of wearing this shoe. So really stoked on the Newton. Check it out, and yeah, I'll hope to share some more updates with you. I'm working through actually a couple different types of shoes right now as well, so I'll share my experience with a couple other brands that I'm trying out right now as well. And yes, thanks for checking us out. If you're liking what we're doing here, subscribe, send some comments. If you are a Newton shoe wearer, I'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to ask them. Hit me on the comments below, and we'll talk to you again next time. See you guys.